Remember last week when I kind of said that thing about the Arizona Cardinals? I like, the football our team is playing. I like how, you know, our offense is looking, but I know deep down, the second we face like a truly competent football team, they will take advantage of that and they will be unforgiving. And I think we need to be ready for that. I think we need to be prepared for that. Yeah, about that. And we are live. Welcome to the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Will. You can find me on Twitter at LiveOnThatSwing. And here with me today is my co-host. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Jared, also known as Mac. You can find me on Twitter at AZSportsFiend.
And we are here to bring you the most premier, the most professionally recorded. No, that's a fucking lie. Arizona Cardinals podcast on this side of YouTube. And this week, we will be discussing the Arizona Cardinals bout against the Detroit Lions. So, let's get right into this. So, the first drive, the Lions, drove down the field for 6 minutes. They fucking coasted. And it got down the field pretty easy. But Jordan Phillips got a key sack on third down at our 30 to force a field goal, 3-0 Lions. And I'm going to say, right out the gate, time management was a real pain in the ass in this game. It felt like Cliff Kingsbury did not know how to control the clock and that the Lions were beating our ass in time of possession. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't think it was that bad. Nothing really stood out to the point to where I thought it really hindered us scoring many points. But maybe to end the first half, we walked into the halftime with 2 timeouts in our pocket. But that was also due big time to Kyler throwing an intentional grounding. But we'll get back to that later. But yeah, that first drive, Adrian Peterson starts off the game with a 30-yard fucking run. It's like, hello, what the fuck? I was like, not this shit. Don't tell me this is gonna happen.
Leave it to fucking Adrian Peterson to have a monster game at our house, man.
We contained them pretty good, I thought, after that, but first run, like, holy shit.
But that alone, set the tempo for the entire game. And if you can't contain them for one run, that gets into your head.
Yeah, that was.
We were really lucky to contain them to a field goal on that drive. After that, we got the ball, and kind of an uneventful first drive for a bit. We go for a fourth down conversion, and we get it. After that, it starts to become a little eventful. Kyler dropped a 25-yard dime to DeAndre Hopkins in a sight that we would not see for most of the day because our passing would not get much better after that point.
That was a dime. Was down the left sideline. Yeah. That was beautiful. Right?
And I
can't leave them that open.
Oh yeah. After that, Dan Arnold, who I tried making into a thing last week in our last episode.
Tried
speaking that into existence. I think it backfired colossally. He let a pass slip through his hands, and it got picked off. And that was
it was a high pass. You know what I mean? Kyler was kind of getting hit on that, so it was kind of rushed, and it was a high pass, and he got his fingertips on it. But yeah, you get 2 fingers on it, you need to find a way to come down with that somehow.
Oh yeah, and after that, the Lions took over at their 35. We forced a punt, but Andy Isabella got fucking smashed by a teammate, and this could have been a disaster if the teammate touched the ball. This is side tangent. I was watching the South Carolina Tennessee game this weekend. South Carolina comes roaring back towards the end. They force a 3-and-out for Tennessee, and just as it looks like Carolina's coming back, they force the punt, and fucking South Carolina's kick returner, the gunner for South Carolina, who is going back to defend the kick returner, fucking gets his leg touches the ball as it is heading towards the kick returner. So Tennessee gets the ball, they win the game because the kick returner just was entirely oblivious to where the ball was.
Jesus, I missed that game.
It was a all right game, but I mean that ending was just rough, man.
That's how it ended?
I mean, basically, yeah. I mean, South Carolina was down 7, at that point, and all Tennessee needed to do was kneel down. It definitely could have been a lot worse, but still a really bad spot to start the drive. They punted and we started at the 20.
So that just started 5-yard run up the middle of Drake. Pass from Kyler to Edmonds, 6 yards.
So we started at the 30, and the Isabella era began with a really good 20-yard gain. Shortly after that, is it Darnell Daniels? I think it's Darnell Daniels.
Yeah.
Got a 15-yard gain from a rollout for Kyler to get us to their 13, and Kyler dropped a fucking beautiful fade to Andy Isabella. Like, that shit was almost a toe tap. And
my God.
It was just
that was if you look at that play, what I love most about that play, it was a dime. But if you look at that play again, Isabella has man coverage. The guy's playing press coverage up on him. He meets the defender, slips by him. That defender's on his hip the whole time. But that's proves that he can beat press coverage, and he does it time and time again. It always feels like there's fans or people out there giving excuses why he's not playing. Oh, he doesn't catch with his hands. Oh, he can't get off press coverage. Well, fuck, he has no drops, and time after time, it looks like he's getting past press coverage with his initial speed. So, that's all I gotta say about that. Anyway,
I mean, I think he is a good receiver. I don't think he's ever going to be the guy, but I think he is. As it stands, he is a pretty solid receiver, and I would like to see him used more, given what we saw out of him in Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, so he'll never be the guy here with DeAndre Hopkins, which is fine. That we don't need that 5'9" guy as to be the guy, But he'll be an elite number 2. He's the guy who can open everything up for fucking D-Hop and the underneath routes. You can get Christian Kirk going. Hopefully, he'll be healthy here in a couple of weeks. You get him going, and then we can get the running game. This is a nasty, nasty offense, but we're still far away.
I've got a crazy theory here. Every fan was speculating about if we were to have 3 1,000-yard wide receivers, who would they be? And the answer everybody had was, of course, Larry, Hop, Kirk. What if it's Hop, Kirk, and Isabella?
I don't know if Kirk's ever going to get it, though. I mean, 3rd year in a row he's missing game with injuries. I could definitely see. I could definitely see D-Hop and Isabella, though. Those two, oof, jeez.
I mean, shit. Steve Breston got a K. I think.
Yeah, if he's healthy, you're right. If he's healthy, Christian Kirk can definitely get 1,000 yards, I believe. If everything goes right, definitely. I think Isabella and D-Hop are the 2 guys.
I mean, shit. Anquan Bolden got fucking, hit like a fucking hit by a fucking truck, basically, in the 2008 season. In that Jets game, he missed 2 or 3 games. And he still easily cracked 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, we'll never compare Bolden to Christian Kirk, but
yeah. I'm saying there's precedent.
I never thought that, though. I never thought, this offense was going to produce 3 1,000 yards. Especially, I don't think Larry's that guy anymore. They don't have him do enough deep routes to begin with. It's kind of like that slot, 6-7 yards. But if Christian Kirk can, I don't know, he's had his issues with catches. I think he led the SEC his junior year in drops, and then we've seen him drop some passes here to go with a little bit of injury. So I'm not as high as on Christian Kirk as what I used to be, but he's still. I mean, if he's healthy, he can very well have a breakout season still.
I agree with you on that. After that, we closed out the quarter. Lions get the ball. Devon Kennard, who was a former Lion, sacked Stafford for another 3 and out. We've been sacking quarterbacks all year. I think, our pass rush has been
so much better, right?
So much better.
Yeah. I just saw this. I just saw a stat that last year we only had 4 guys other than Chandler Jones to have at least 2 sacks. We already have that now. Through 3 games, and isn't one of those guys yet.
It is such a relief to see competent pass rush on this team. We haven't had that in so many years.
From Devon Kennard to Jordan Phillips to friggin' Corey Peters. You have all those guys on the outside now. That it opens it up for someone like Corey Peters, who's going basically one-on-one with the center. Because those guards are gonna have to keep their eye out on not a Chandler Jones as well, but those rushers coming up the middle. So Steve Keim has done a hell of a job to retool the linebacking core this offseason, and it's showing. Up front has been playing great.
So Kyler on the next drive threw his second pick of the game, and I mean,
what was that one? That was like
that was the one. Was that the one where he was that? Bobbles, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't that the one where he threw to Keyshawn Johnson despite DeAndre Hopkins being wide open?
I think that was the third one, correct?
No, it was hard to keep track on that one.
I think the second one was where he was scrambling out. Kyler Murray, short right, intended for Larry Fitzgerald, intercepted by Jamie Collins.
Yeah,
that was the second one. So he was going for Fitz, but he pump faked it. And Jamie Collins, you watch the replay, Jamie Collins is just eyeing him the whole way too, and just threw it in his lap.
And it's like I said last week. I mean, once you face a team that is semi-competent, they'll eat you alive when you make those kind of mistakes. I mean, we saw that in full force.
Those were the first turnovers the Lions have had all year as well.
It's pretty disconcerting.
Interceptions. Yeah.
It's pretty disconcerting that we still haven't had an interception yet. I mean, I know it took us 7 weeks to get one last year, but I mean, it shouldn't have taken that long that last year, and it shouldn't take us this long this year.
Especially when we're getting pressure up front.
We're getting pressure up front. I mean, our pass rush is looking hyper competent.
We almost had one last week, or last game on Sunday. I think it was. Might have been Kennard or Hicks, but there's a pass over the middle they laid out for.
I know we had a handful of.
Remember yelling.
I know we've had a handful of picks that were taken back because of penalties. We've had more of those than we have, picks, which is really concerning.
Yeah, what was that? I think Banjo had one.
Banjo had one. I mean, wasn't there one this week too, or is that my imagination?
I think that was this week, wasn't it?
No, I know the Niners game, it was really bad in that. I think we had 1 or 2 in that. I'm going to lay my cards on the table right here and now. I did not watch the whole game. I was stressing out because of this game, so I went and got dinner.
You didn't watch it?
No, I watched it. I watched,
not live. Yeah.
I watched most of it. I got really anxious, went to go get dinner, got back, and I got back to see the ending.
That sucks.
Shit. We keep going on these tangents and they're just nothing. So after that, the Lions drove to about the 9-yard line where Stafford threw it in for an easy touchdown to Jesse James. And it was 10-7 Lions. Jesse James is funny to me. He I don't know if you remember this. He was one of those guys who was like a 1 or 2 week wonder. Came in when Vance McDonald was injured for the Steelers. Has a okay 1 or 2
Oh
weeks,
yeah, that's right.
and he
Yeah.
turned that into a 4-year 50. I was about to say $55 million. That's not right. 4-year $22 million deal with the Lions.
That's his contract.
Yeah,
What
I mean,
fuck?
it's and
Better be the best
being a.
blocking tight end.
And I know he's not their starter, but that's still ridiculous money to hand out for an okay backup who had 2 good weeks like a year or two ago. I
Yeah,
don't know.
what was disconcerting was that the Lions were able to kind of get their tight ends involved. We haven't really faced that the first couple weeks. We've done a good job, but Jesse James and T.J. Hawkinson combined for 7 catches, 80 something yards, 79 yards, I believe. We didn't see that first couple weeks, but kind of got exposed there. I saw Reddick trying to chase someone down, getting beat on a pass, and Campbell kind of struggled on a play or two. So that was to see that come back again versus the Lions. That was something I wasn't really expecting, but hopefully we can change that here next week.
So after that, Kyler threw to Hopkins. Throws to Hopkins. What's new there? For a sorry, shit. Let's retake that. Kyler threw to Hopkins for a 20-yard gain. Hopkins got another first down, which got us towards past midfield. Dan Arnold, got us a really nice catch to try to redeem himself for a first down. Kyler, dropped it off to Edmonds at about the 16, and he raced towards the end zone. We got stopped at the 1. Kyler pulls off another beautiful rushing touchdown, which was very similar to the ones we saw against the Bengals last year. It was 13-10 Cardinals at that point with 1:53 left. Zane missed the PAT.
Can I just say about that play with Kyler, like that is what makes him so special. We see it a couple of times a week where he just breaks someone's ankles. And I know he was quoted today as saying he'd rather stay in the pocket instead of running. But what makes him so good is that he's able to use his legs. Today he finished 5 rushes for 29 yards this week, and we lost. If he doesn't get 6 rushes in a game, the Cardinals' record is 0-8-1 since last year. We need his legs, and hopefully we'll see more of that.
His ability to extend the play, past, what an average quarterback can, I think is something that only maybe like 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the NFL can do and do consistently. I mean, I think that, if he can, he needs to do it as often as he can. And I think the ankle breaker he did on Akuda, I mean, that's, you were talking about a welcome. You were talking about a welcome to the NFL moment a couple weeks ago. That's a welcome to the NFL moment if I've ever seen it.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's just
unfortunately Akuda gets him back, with that interception later on. But yeah, at that moment he made him look. His jockstrap is still on the turf over at State Farm Stadium.
It's like watching like James Harden do the the step back,
dancing around,
guy
with the defenders flailing, the defenders in the paint falling up. Yeah,
the defender falls on his ass. Harden waits a second to like rub it in, then shoots the 3 and nails it. I mean, that's essentially what he did, man. Shit.
Right.
I think that Kyler's ability to extend a play is very valuable. Okay, so the curse didn't work last week, so I'm going to reverse it. I think Zane Gonzalez is going to have an amazing week. Let's hope.
Here we go.
But after that, the Lions effortlessly drove down the field and scored. 30 seconds left. That was a minute. 22
Was that
seconds.
Galladay?
Yeah, I mean that's so. They drove down the field. They took the lead at the half, and
15-yarder to Galladay
shit,
right
dude.
before half, and then we get ball, and then Kyler has that intentional grounding where it cuts off 10 seconds out of the 14. So we just fucking kneel run the clock out.
The coverage in our defense against the Lions was really lackadaisical. I felt like, I felt that the pressure was not there. I felt like everybody came into that game expecting 3 hours of effortless, stat padding, and they came out looking like fools. We looked at
Matt Stafford diced us up.
I mean, Matt Stafford's a good quarterback, but I wouldn't even say he's top 10,
Yeah.
We shouldn't be getting lit up by Matt Stafford. And it's really concerning because it's like, once we face, elite quarterbacks like, Russell Wilson or
elite offenses in general.
I mean,
yeah, right. Because the Lions aren't shit. You know what I mean? Lions. And they stuck with us. I feel like it was an even game. Obviously, the turnovers were the big difference. But Matt Stafford, man, he hung in the pocket. He made some fucking throws.
I think what's going to happen, here's what I think. We're probably not going to have to worry about this as much, and so long as we don't repeat the mistake we made this week and believing our own press clippings and playing lackadaisical defense against teams that are, expected to be worse than we are. But, when we face, say, the Seahawks, they're absolutely going to tear us a new one.
Yeah. Well, thankfully we play the Seahawks fucking tough. Division matchup. We play all the motherfuckers tough. But yeah, we're on a whole other planet right now. DK Metcalf might torch our fucking the top of our defense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's.
We don't have no one to hang with him.
Yeah. I mean, luckily for us, the two divisions we're slated to play don't have that kind of offense. But I mean, if it were like last year where we were playing the Ravens with this defense, I mean, shit. I still don't think we would. I don't think we would do it, man. I don't think we'd be able to.
No, I mean, a lot of that depends on your safeties too. Like, I feel like we have good cornerbacks. Like, Mr. Peterson, I feel like he's getting a lot of heat. He really hasn't given up a ton of stuff. He's given up a lot of plays in front of him. It feels like more than anything. He doesn't want to get beat over the top. I think he's given up the one touchdown this year. Pro Football Reference has him like 5 for 10 against him in targets, which I know it's bullshit because they had him 1 for 1 this last week, and I was just watching the game review, and there's 2 plays where it's right in front of him. I feel like we have cornerbacks who are good enough. I don't know if our safeties are, though. For instance, Budda Baker, highest paid safety in the league, which, contracts are going to be going up here next year, too. Other safeties are going to be getting paid. So he's not going to be the highest paid safety for very long. But right now, his QBR against him, quarterbacks have thrown 10 targets right at him, and he's given him 9 catches. Looking at the stats right now, 90%. The QBR ratio is 140. It's awful. Buddha's great against the run, you know what I mean? Box safety. But for someone to get paid like that, you got to make a play. And that play with Kenny Galladay right there at the goal line, Adrian Wilson destroys fucking that dude. And Budda is that type of player. He's physical. He likes getting hit. He likes doing the dirty work. But when it comes to pass coverage, he does not take that hit on his dude, and that's his biggest problem. Adrian Wilson was great at doing that and separating ball from man.
And after that, Kyler threw a beautiful pass to Hopkins. Keyshawn got a 14-yard reception on the 3rd and 15 to force another punt. And if I remember right, this is the play where they tried doing the 4th down conversion or the 4th down fake or whatever. And they got Chris Strevler on the field. And it's like when he's on the field and you see that they're bunched up in that QB sneak formation. I mean, everybody knows what's going. There's no way you can hide that. I don't quite
Yeah.
understand what they were going for there because it's like because it turned into a delay of game. They didn't jump him off sides. They didn't call a timeout. They
I
didn't
mean,
do
that's what the
anything.
whole
So why?
point was, you know. He showed him last week, like we talked about last week. He went for that fourth down, and that puts it in the back of every head coach's mind from that point on that you better watch the fuck out because he might do something that is very unexpected. So I think I don't think it's a coincidence. He ran that at around 27 that play last week on the fourth down, and he comes out here and he tries to draw the offsides, which just didn't happen. Little gamesmanship. I like it, yeah, but yeah, Cliff was kind of feeling himself, and he kind of had a little bit of a reality check by the end of it all.
So, next drive after that, Buda Baker almost got his first interception on a 3rd and 9, so that forced a 3 and out. Next drive after that, we try to drive again, but Kyler tries to force another throw for his 3rd interception of the game, this time to Okudah, and that was the Keyshawn Johnson play, I think.
That was at DeAndre Hopkins. It was
Shit,
behind him.
I'm absolutely out of it. Yeah.
I don't think he ended up throwing an INT to Keyshawn. It was just he was just forcing those throws because that one was to Okudah was on Hopkins, and Kyler got forced out of the pocket to the right, and he could see him kind of throw like a little baseball pass, little hop. He just did not get enough on it, and it was behind a D-Hop. If you see the camera angle from the back, D-Hop has to slow down, and Okudah made a hell of a play, and he dove in front and fucking got the INT.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing with Kyler, though. We talked about it last week a little bit. He needs to use his feet because when he's just a pocket guy and he gets outside the pocket, I'm a huge fan of Kyler's, but I don't think he's nearly close enough to being elite throwing on the run is what a lot of other guys are. So he needs to use his feet, but
his ability to extend the play is solid, but I don't think he's quite at the level of like
Rodgers,
or
someone like obviously Rodgers is the best in the league at it, but I mean, why we're thinking Kyler could be a future MVP, so we want to compare him to these greats. And obviously that is just an area where he is going to have to need in this league for us to be successful, especially if he doesn't want to run as much. He's going to have to be able to be a little bit better of throwing off the run and leading his guys because it feels like almost he gets a little inaccurate high or gets behind when he's on the run. So that's something that I was watching for because we talked about it last week, and that play was a great example of what he still needs to work on as a QB passer.
Yeah, I think Kyler had the benefit of solid defense and special teams in the past 2 games. I think him not having that advantage this time around and not having those lucky breaks kind of affected him. I think that having those lucky breaks and having the ability to start at the other team's 10 like in the first game, or to have all those lucky breaks like we had against Washington, I think that he took those for granted, and I think that when he didn't have those this game, it kind of took him out of it.
I don't know. I mean, the big difference is that Keyshawn Johnson wasn't playing the first 2 games either. He comes in out of nowhere and gets 7 fucking targets. Like, no, thank you. Keep feeding Isabella. Isabella did not get 1 target in the fourth quarter, only once in the second half, and he scored the touchdown on that little play that we'll cover here shortly. But yeah, to go away from Isabella and to go directly and force feed Keyshawn Johnson really hindered us from being able to win this game.
I definitely think that if Christian Kirk was not in this game, easy peasy. We held them up on the goal line to force a field goal. 2016 Lions.
good at that, man. Our defense bends, but they do not break. I love that from them. I mean, there might be a 26 on the scoreboard, but a lot of that's not their fault, man. They busted their balls. They were out there fucking balling. I thought for the most part. Sure, they're shorthanded. We lost Banjo. We lost his backup. And we're on the 4th-string fucking backup or whatever. Like, this defense has a lot of issues right now, but in the back end, I think. But up front, this is the best front 7 I think we've had in a long fucking time.
Yeah. I mean, even in, peak Arians era, I don't think that our front 7 was, like, intimidating, per se. I think that
I don't know if we've had these linebackers, really. And then, Jordan Phillips up front with Corey Peters, who's playing some of the best ball of his career. He's already got 2 sacks. He had 2.5 last year. So he's feasting. Jordan Phillips got back-to-back sacks last game and this game, or back-to-back games with sacks. So he's kind of feeling himself right now. Kennard has 2 sacks already. Campbell I don't think he has. Does Campbell have a sack? Campbell does not have a sack, but he's been all over the field. So but that front 7, yeah, I think it's just as good as, I don't know, some of the best front 7s we've had. Yes, Reddick. Bo Bobbles is right. Thank you. Reddick's been balling. Thank you. Just heard the beeping in the background. Like, let me go look at the page. Yeah, he's had 2 sacks. Bo Bobbles saying defensive player of the year. Maybe most improved because he's playing his natural position. But yeah, he's looking good out there as well. But he's also got beat a couple times, I think, by tight ends. So that's one area that against a good tight end and a good back end, or against good wide receivers, we might struggle. But up front, we've been solid, winning the line of scrimmage more often than not.
But after that, Hopkins, tore it up again. Kyler got a first down run, and Andy Isabella scored another touchdown to make it 23-20 Cardinals. And the third quarter ended. Shortly after that, we forced a punt with 12 minutes left in the game, but we couldn't get anything.
Just real quick before that halftime, just something that I was seeing about Kyler, because it seems like his awareness isn't always. I mean, his awareness on the field is great, but that play in particular, he had time to where he could have moved outside the tackle box and thrown that ball away, or even try to force running it. But he felt a little bit of pressure right there. He kind of bounced out. There was nowhere to go out, so he bounced back in. And when he didn't have anything, he just chucked it to the sideline, which is a very, very rookie move. You don't see a lot of vet quarterbacks do that. So that just kind of shows like the maturity that Kyler still has to do. He's such a dynamic player, but he still has so much growth to be had. And with that play, we were at our own 35. We got the 10-yard penalty, moved us back. They cut the 10 seconds off the clock, so we went down to 4 seconds. So we had the ball at like the 25-yard line now with 4 seconds instead of the 35 with 14, to where we could have ran maybe 2 plays and had a chance for a long Zane field goal to end half, because we still had 2 timeouts. And that play right there, the play definitely killed everything. It would have been a small chance for us to get 3 points right there. But at the end of the day, we lost by 3. And elite quarterbacks cannot leave those 3 points out there when you have the ball with 30 seconds to end the first half with timeouts. You need to get 3. And that shows Kyler's kind of immaturity, but his growth that he still has.
I think it's very.
Sorry for rambling.
It's perfect. I think it's very easy to look at the first 2 Cardinals games, assign these, wild fantasies to what you want Kyler.
Yeah, 16-0. He's gonna break the yardage record. Yeah, we were all feeling it. We were all feeling it. We were.
It is very easy to get caught up in the hype.
I don't blame anyone. Yeah.
I think it's entirely natural. I also think we got to realize, though, that this is a second-year quarterback. This is somebody who is
no off-season either, really. You know what I mean?
Off-season either. I mean, this is
huge for a second-year quarterback. So he's kind of working even like preseason mental reps still. Not really still, but just like he never had that. So there's going to be a little bit of development might not be there like the Lamar was second year, or even Mahomes, which, I mean, Kyler was still great, but those decisions right there that he's made, those interceptions, and then that play to kind of at the end of the first half, it kind of just shows that there are some still kinks to be worked out here. And for him to be eyeing Keyshawn, you don't be doing that if you're, I don't know if he's playing a little favoritism to his boy for coming back out or what, but for him to get seven targets in a game that we need to win, like, we go to what's working here, and the best quarterbacks do that. So hopefully Kyler learns from that, and we have that bounce back game this week, because that's what the great ones do. They have, make a few poor decisions. They come back that next game even hungrier. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a big game coming up from Kyler.
Oh yeah, I am a little antsy. I know we're not done yet, but I am a little antsy, since the Panthers game is going to be on the East Coast, and even the best Cardinals quarterbacks have trouble on the East Coast.
It was a bong. If you just heard it, if you heard it, you knew it. It was a bong. Ooh. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Even the best Cardinals fans, the biggest Cardinals fans know about our woes against teams in the East Coast. I am worried that this Carolina team, even if they are inferior, will beat us, because that's just how these things usually go. I mean, even in our best year, we fall to bad East Coast team. This happens.
Yeah. Excuse me. That one hit the spot. Yeah, I saw someone say on Twitter that watch out, this is a trap game because Carolina has DJ Moore. They have a couple of decent wide receivers. And they were like, thank God Christian McCaffrey's not playing. Trap game.
But the last time.
And it's like, if this is a trap game after we lost the game, we have a lot of work to do as a fucking team. If we lose to the Lions and the Panthers.
But here's the thing.
We have work to do.
Here's the thing, though. Christian McCaffrey might be out, but their backup runner has already
Mike Davis
has already torn up against us before coming in as the backup in a situation like tore us up against us last year, and I definitely could see him doing it again this year, because he is sneaky. I think he is, he is the kind of guy who you don't have any tape on, so you just have to assume.
Yeah,
things.
I mean, Teddy Bridgewater is a smart QB. I think I almost felt like the Lions game should have been more winnable than the Panthers game, because we'd be going on the road to the East Coast, like you said. And McCaffrey's out. That's huge. But yeah, Mike Davis he had a decent week last week, I believe. So it's not a team we can sleep on. But to be considered a trap game, it's not a game that you just think you have it in hand. It's a game that, like, you're looking forward ahead to. And who do we play the week after this? The Jets, I think. Like, if this is a fucking trap, this is a trap game, we're fucked. There's no way that you can be looking ahead to the Jets. You know what I mean? Like, our sights have to be set on this game. So we need I'll be very disappointed if we do not play very good football and give ourselves a really good chance at coming away with the victory.
Yeah, after the Isabella touchdown, we forced a punt with 12 minutes left in the game. We couldn't get anything together after they downed our punt at the 1 yard line. They returned it to the 35. Defense held up again. Reddick got a sack on third down. After that, we get the ball with 6 minutes left. Hopkins got it to the 30. Kenyon got us to the 50. The refs missed a blatantly obvious PI against Keyshawn Johnson for a second.
Oh my God! Yeah, if you're not calling that a fucking pass interference, holding, or whatever the fuck, then why even throw a back shoulder anyways? The back shoulder is basically getting the defender going down the field, and then you put your foot in the ground, you turn around, and the ball's fucking right there. If the defender can blow by the wide receiver and has to grab his jersey, fucking keep himself upright, like, why even play the game of football? That shit was yeah.
I mean, and looking at that, and looking at the the final, I mean, that would have probably sealed it if that PI was called. I mean, shit.
That was such a bullshit call, man.
Yeah.
Grabbed all jersey. Definitely was going to be caught. I mean, I know Keyshawn's had his moments. You know, he already had a drop this game, but that ball right there was perfectly placed, and his jersey got bugged, and it threw them all off. And I don't know how you missed that as a ref.
But after that, Kyler went to Keyshawn again towards the end zone, but threw incomplete. That was probably miscommunication because the ball was within a yard of Keyshawn, but he didn't even try to get it. Yeah, after that, 5 minutes left. Lions cheat on the clock. Prater does what he does best, hits a game-winning field goal. Time runs out. Lions win. What a shit show.
I was pissed.
Some key stats on the day. Kyler Murray actually had a really solid day if you discount interceptions, of course. 23 for... Is that right? 23 for 25.
23 for 35.
Yeah, 23 for 35. I was about to say.
No, he had a solid game. It was just those fucking picks, man. We won every facet of the game. If you look at it, we won everything other than time of possession. Penalties were the same, but we had more passing yards. We had more rushing yards. Everything other than fucking turnovers, 3. We didn't get any. And then scoreboard and time of possession. Those are the only things we lost. He played a great game other than those mistakes right there, which he'll learn from. He'll be good.
But 23 for 35. 270 yards, 2 TDs, 3 INTs, 5 rushes for 29 yards and a TD. Hopkins had 10 receptions for 137 yards. Jesus Christ, that's awesome.
If you had Andy Isabella with having half of the receiving touchdowns that Kyler Murray has thrown through 3 games, please stand up. I know some of you are standing up. There you go. Andy Isabella, 2 touchdowns. Kyler's got 4 on the year. Never would have, I mean, I don't want to say never would have thought that because I was really high on Andy, but that's a good sign. They just have to play him more, man. For some reason, Keyshawn gets 70% of the snaps, and Isabella's over here at, 40, 35? Like, it's when the hot hand, he's got 15 of 20 targets in his career for over 300 fucking yards. Yeah. DK Metcalf over here fucking dominating, but he's down. He's caught under 60% of his passes last year, and right now, even after his big games, he's tearing it up right now. But he's 12 for 22 or something, so he's at 55% this year. You give Andy Isabella 22 fucking targets. Let's see what he's gonna do. Because right now, if he's at 15 through 20 in his career with 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, we need to feed him. There's nobody on our roster like him, other than Kyler Murray, and he's the fucking quarterback. So feed Andy Isabella, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry this episode wasn't as funny as last week's. This was just a really irritating game to cover because it's just, there's so many opportunities here that we're just, left to waste. I mean, Byron. I didn't even talk about Byron.
Carrie's not here. Carrie's not here either, which Carrie's a lot funnier than me. So he kind of
come home. We miss you.
Yeah, he gets me rolling. That was the first time I worked with him, so that was fun. That was a good time. Hopefully, he can join us next week.
Yeah. I was just really irritated. I didn't even talk about Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy shit the bed on several occasions in this game, but Matt Stafford.
Yeah, they're throwing at him more than Patrick Peterson, which makes sense. So would you and I.
I don't know if I'm that.
Anything. He has no TDs given up on the year, Byron. So right now he's got the lowest QB rating against right now, 81%. Actually, right ahead of Drake or Patrick at 80.9. That's the QBRs for cornerbacks, while Patrick Peterson's at 112.9. But they're just throwing a lot more to Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy's been targeted 16 times. He's 9 catches for 126 yards. Patrick Peterson, they said 10 for 5, but they only have him 1 for 1 this last game, and I know that he got thrown at more than once. So I don't know what the hell that's all about.
You've got the pro football.
Got the advanced. Yeah, they got the advanced. They got the advanced metrics on Pro Football Reference. If anyone takes a look, but yeah, the Buda Bakers, Hassan Reddick's are actually worst. I know everyone's hyping Hassan because he's been great in the box. But he's 4 for 6 when targeted, they say, and he's given up 1 touchdown and 146 yards. So I don't know how they.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all fucked up because they have Isaiah Simmons at 18 yards, which he gave up that fucking Jerick McKinnon touchdown or whatever. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck Pro Football Focus smoking, but.
So Matt Stafford went 22 for 31, 270, 2 TDs. Galladay, 6 receptions, 57 yards, 1 TD. AP, 22 attempts, 75 yards. That closes out the stats. Should we get into predictions?
Well, for one thing, let's talk about is our run game. Our run game last year, we were at 5.1 yards per carry for Drake and Edmonds between them. This year, they're both down to like right at 4.1 and 4.2. That I think we're missing Max Williams blocking as tight end. And Arnold's not that guy. He's kind of a finesse guy. You don't want him blocking, sealing edges. So hopefully we can get Max Williams back because I see a lot of people saying Kenny and Drake's slow, and to me, he's hitting the holes that are there. He did last year. But if the holes aren't there, he's not getting by, and neither is Chase Edmonds for what he's gotten so far. They're both 4 yards.
Yeah.
So a lot of people want to give Kenny fucking hate saying he's not running hard. I don't see that. I feel like he's hitting the holes that are there, but the holes aren't there as much because I don't think the edges are sealing as often as they are.
I'm looking at the. All right, so you ready to do predictions?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm looking at this. I can already tell this is
a. Are we keeping track here of records, by the way, or are we just doing this?
We're just doing this. I mean,
I'm going back and I'm keeping track. And one of we got to do a bet because we're both on Twitter. We follow each other, obviously.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do a bet. Whoever has the best record changes their profile picture for a week or some shit, something stupid.
Bobbles, if you want to dig up the archives, we can figure this
out. Yeah, I'll go back and listen. We can mark them down.
If you want to, in the editing phase, put up like a number here saying how stupid I am and saying my record, go for it. But
I have no idea. I'm not keeping track either because I do a pick'em league as well. So I feel like when I'm doing the pick'em league, some of my answers are different than when I'm on here because I do it like last second. It's like Thursday. I'm like, oh fuck, pick'em, and I have to go fucking do them. But yeah, I'm not keeping track. But I think that'd be fun. That'd be something that we should do.
All right, so Ultimate Who Cares Bowl tomorrow night. Broncos Jets. I mean, I think that's probably going to be the Broncos. The Jets
I think that's honest. I'm going tie, bro. That's a tie game to me. Those motherfuckers. Both teams suck ass.
The Jets just look pitiful. I mean, the Broncos aren't great, but I mean, the Jets aren't even doing it.
If I had to pick a team, I'm saying Jets are going to win that game. I feel like Sam Bradford has like that one game a year we pull out of his ass. Or Sam Darnold, whatever. Same motherfucker.
He's only
same motherfucker.
He's only played 1 year, so it's like whatever.
Well, I feel like not every year. Just he has random ass games where he blows up. Where he just blows up. Sam Darnold looks great, like random games, and I feel like against this Broncos team, I'm gonna go Jets if I have to pick something other than a tie.
But after on Sunday, we got Saints Lions. I think that's obvious. I think that's probably the Saints.
I'm going Lions. Fuck the Saints. I'm going Lions. I'm not buying the Saints.
After that, you got Buccaneers Chargers. I think that's an easy Bucs win. I think that.
Yeah, I agree there.
I think anybody could look at that and say that's the case.
We're gonna do that. Let's do
it. Jaguars Bengals. I don't think that the Bengals come out of that with a win. I think that the easy answer there is the Jags.
I think those quarterbacks. Burrow versus Minshew.
Burrow.
I'm gonna go Bengals. I'm gonna give the Bengals their first win. They tie the Eagles last week. I'm gonna get Burrow. I'm going Burrow.
Burrow is also the third quarterback to have a third quarterback in a row, a rookie quarterback. That was pick number 1 to have a tie game in their opening year.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
But So, Jaguars, Bengals, I think Jaguars win that. Vikings, Texans, I don't think the Vikings just look awful. I don't know what their deal is.
Yeah, I'm going Texans, dude.
Texans, easy money.
Yeah, for sure. Even with David Johnson on their team, I'm gonna pick them.
After that, you got Seahawks, Dolphins. Russell Wilson's just been a machine this year. I mean, if there was ever any question about MVP conversation, everybody always has.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this year, if there was ever a year, is the year he can get because he's just looking.
He must be getting some good. He must be getting some good Sierra Punani because he is killing it, man. That guy getting better with age, bro. That's scary.
So,
and they're letting him throw a lot more now, and it almost felt like they always try to get the run game going first, and then fourth quarter is when they unleash Russell. Now it's like fuck it, we're unleashing him fucking from the tip, and he's been unbelievable. So yeah, Seahawks.
After that, you got Steelers, Titans. I think that's a Titans win. I know that's kind of a hot
Steelers,
take, but I think
dude, no, they're both 3-0. And which that game it's postponed till have they even announced Monday or Tuesday?
They did postpone it, yeah.
I know it's up in the air to Monday or Tuesday.
That seems,
but they're both 3-0. That's a good game.
That still seems way, way too soon to have them back. Audio.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder who, because it was 4 guys on the Titans that tested positive, but I don't believe they've been announced who. So it's curious to know, is it one of the big guys? You know what I mean? Is it Derrick Henry? Is it Corey Davis? If it's kind of like the bottom half of the roster, then I could see where they're kind of like, okay, yeah, we'll move on. We'll play this game, but yeah, that's we might be seeing a lot of that. COVID, man, playing in a pandemic. What are you gonna do?
And to answer side tangent, to answer my editor's question, yes, Baker Mayfield did have a tie in the year. He did not play in the tie, but the Browns did tie in their opening for the Steelers. In his opening.
He didn't play in that.
He didn't play in that. He didn't play until like week 3 of that. But
who was their quarterback?
Tyrod Taylor. Massive of being the guy before the guys come in. After that, Browns, Cowboys. I think that's obvious. Do I even need to dignify that with an answer?
You got Cowboys, obviously. I just hate fucking Cowboys. But dude, they're both 2-1. So why automatically just say no answer? They're both 2-1, right?
Are they?
I think the Browns are 2.
Shit, what the fuck?
Right? I saw
2-1. Oh, that's they're 2-1. That's yeah, of course they're 2-1. They faced those two.
So why? What did they play?
They played the racial slurs and the Bengals. Of course they're 2-1. Yeah, no, Cowboys. Easy.
I hate the Cowboys, but fuck yeah. And I got Nick Chubb, and I'm kind of salty that Michael Gallup's not getting fed a lot in Dallas, but whatever. Yeah, we'll go Dallas. I'll go Dallas. Fuck it. Whatever.
But after that we got Cards, Panthers. I'm going to divert from what I usually say. I don't feel at all. I mean, even
don't feel good about this game.
We have not won in Carolina since 2008. I know that because
I saw that on Twitter too.
I know that because I live there, and I go to see the Cardinals play them any chance I get, and every single time I just leave the building before it's over. It just always feels. I feel. I have not seen the Arizona Cardinals win live since 2007.
Jesus, yeah, it sucks, but I'm going Cardinals.
I think Panthers win. I'm sorry.
I'm done. Fuck it. I'm out of here. No, kidding.
After that, you got the rematch. After that, you got a rematch of the 2006 Super Bowl. You got Colts, Bears. Who do you have?
I'm going Colts. Oh fuck! Nick Foles entered. He looked good. Nick Foles did look good. I have Anthony Miller and fucking Allen Robinson in my league. I am going fucking Chicago. Let's go Bears.
I
Go
think it.
Bears.
I think the Colts got it.
I think it's a good game though. I think
I
it's an
think that has.
interesting game.
I think that has potential to be a better game than it's advertised as being. But I think
Yeah,
it is a
because you
good
don't
game.
have Mitch Trubisky or whatever.
That's a
So
that's a game you turn on if it's like everything else is at the half and that's still on and you want to catch that real quick.
all right.
Uh, yeah, the final game to close out the 1 p.m. slate is Ravens racial slurs. I don't have to say it. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Ravens. All day. There's not I mean I was kind of talking high about Dwayne Haskins, but yeah, he's got on the hot seat now. Yeah, he's not looking good. So gotta go Ravens.
So to open up the 4:05 slate, you got Giants Rams. Who do you have?
Hey, so we play a morning game? Is that morning
Yeah.
versus Carolina?
Yep.
Oh shit. Okay. I like it. You
I'm
said
using
Giants Rams?
yeah, I'm using my local times here per
Oh
game.
yeah. Because there's only two time slots in the morning or afternoon, morning, whatever. Um, so Giants Rams, you said?
I'm gonna go with the Giants. I mean, I'm mainly doing that to be a contrarian, but Giants.
I gotta go Rams, man. They showed a lot of fight versus the Bills. That was a fucking crazy game last week. To be down what they were 28-3, and they come marching back, take the lead, and then they get the Bills get some bullshit fucking pass interference call, and then they score what on like the next play to fucking seal that
Yeah,
win. That
yeah.
was a hell of a game. I'm going Rams.
The the next game on the slate. This should be the Sunday night game. I don't know why it's not. I think it's probably because Tom Brady's not involved. Pats Chiefs. Who
Woo!
do you have?
Going Chiefs. Going. They look fucking dominant, man.
Oh yeah, I mean the play calling they had against the Ravens, I was entirely wrong. Holy
I,
shit!
I saw someone say. "Oh, it looked the game versus the Chargers was so close because all the coaches were preparing for the Ravens and they put that beat down on their ass." So yeah, you got to go Chiefs, man. Patrick Mahomes and that offense is that's
Here's a
something that's something
and
special.
after that, here's a game I don't think anybody would have realized was going to be big when the schedule was plotted out. Bills Raiders. Uh,
That is a good game in Buffalo.
in Vegas.
Ooh,
So this could go
okay.
either way because East Coast teams travel well to the West Coast.
In the building that hooker's built. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go Buffalo, man. I don't know why. Josh Allen is on one right now. That his development is pretty unreal this third season.
I don't know, man. I think I mean the Raiders have been tearing it up. I don't know what's gotten into them, but they've been doing really well lately. And I think I think they've got the momentum, and I think they can.
Yeah, I just think Buffalo might have the better defense, but
Yeah,
to go with that offense, it's just their offense seems more consistent than the Raiders so far. Raiders offense has been good. Waller's been dominating. I think he has like the second most catches in the NFL is what I believe I saw earlier this week.
yeah.
Behind DeAndre Hopkins, obviously, but
Here's a
I'm still
game.
going Buffalo.
Here's a game I can tell that the NFL schedulers giddy when they put this schedule for prime. This is an awful game now. Eagles Niners. Who do you have? This is
Mm,
the Sunday night.
I mean, fuck, the Eagles are so goddamn bad, dude. And it's like I want to be a hater against the Niners, but I don't know. Sunday night.
Carson. Yeah, this is Sunday night. This is
Okay,
awful.
I'm going Eagles. I'm going Eagle breakout game versus the fucking Niners and who they got Nick Mullins going. Yeah, let's go Eagles breakout game.
Carson Wentz is the Matt Stafford of the NFC East. I mean, he's only good against sub 500 teams, and I know that I know that him being in the NFC East, he gets to play those 4 times a year. But it's just absolutely ridiculous the kind of hype.
At least 4 times a year. He plays what's that? 6. All those fucking teams. All those suck. I guess other Cowboys, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But I mean, it's just like I mean, there are still people who think that he's a top 10 quarterback. I don't see it. I don't even know if I'd put him in my top 15.
No, he hasn't proved shit. Fucking really, other than that 1 year, like I don't know how they could put him as a top 10 quarterback.
Injured, then he just
and
sucked.
then his backup won the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's like, how good are you really?
I mean, say what you will about Jared Goff. Lord knows I have. He's coming back this year and he's proving himself. His slump last year, I mean, that was, it seems like it was an anomaly.
Jared Goff. Yeah, I mean, the Rams look like they're kind of back. I hate saying it, man, but I don't know. I don't know if their running game will hold up Jared Goff, but that defense is solid, and they're still a well-coached team for the most part, so they're tough.
So, Carson Wentz is a fraud. Niners win that one. Monday night, the Brett Favre Bowl, Falcons-Packers. Who do you have?
Gotta go Packers. Jesus Christ. There's no anybody in the right mind picking the Falcons is either drunk, high, or a degenerate gambler or something.
Okay, so the question isn't how, who wins. It's the question is, how big is the lead that the Falcons blow this time?
Let's go 24. Not their worst blow ever, but yeah.
I'm going to go with a nice round number. I'm going to say 32.
Packers are going to destroy them. But hopefully Matt Ryan racks up some fantasy points because I need it.
But, that closes out a very messy, very disorienting episode of Redbird Redzone. We will do our best to be back with you next week.
This sounds like the ending of a podcast that is never going to air again. We might be back with you next week. Sorry for.
I mean, we've had that happen before, so we gotta, cross our fingers.
We're good. That was good. I think we covered a lot of good stuff. We got the meat and potatoes. It wasn't as funny, but I think it went well.
But
yeah, it was good though. It was good Cardinal talk, I thought. So I guess Will is gone. So this is the end of the Redbird podcast. This is me, Mac, AZ Sports Fiend. Follow me on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, then I don't blame you because that could be a shit show. But it was fun to have you guys here tonight. You guys have a safe weekend, and let's get a W against the Panthers.
My name is Will. This has been the Redbird Redzone, and we are out.